Hey, good afternoon, folks. Welcome to a Rant Raven America here. Oh, of course, you guys were able to see the last video I did. That was a really good one. Um, I don't know what happened. I went through the video, kept looking at it, and I was going through my other ones. And I really didn't think I said anything off topic that I'm aware of. And anyway, what happened was I was talking about the elections, and like I usually do, somehow, some way, the way that YouTube took it, they thought that I was saying that it was a stolen election, all that. And that's not what I was saying at all. Anyways, took it as I was giving out misinformation. And I got a really good team around me that we look at the videos. We hold ourselves to a really high standard. And what I was just trying to say was, no, I was just getting my point across. Anyway, the video didn't get posted. Depressed about that. I can understand why YouTube did what they did. I can because we don't want people to give out any misleading information or anything. I tried to explain it was just my opinion. Anyway, it was down. That's in the past. It's done. But I thought what I would do though is actually go into talking about the elections and what we all think about them. And when I say that is I actually did a lot of research on this one this time, guys. A lot of research. 90% of what I'm going to go over it actually comes from the Pew Research Center. You can look them up on Google. They've got or just look them up whatever search engine you want to use. But you look them up. They got a lot of really good graphics on there, charts, in-depth information on it. And I figure I start off with do we trust in the election system? And from everyone that they've talked to, again, that's everyone that they talk to. It could be about. I think they usually do theirs based on a group of 200 or 200, anywhere between 200 to 1,000 people. So that's actually a pretty good pool there. But what they found out is 63% favor the popular vote over the electoral college. That's a change that 60% of Americans want made. I agree with that one. I think that the popular vote should be the way to go. The electoral college, it's, it's just too condensed. It really throws most of our voice out the window when it comes to it. I think the better way to do it is just take the popular vote. That's what everyone. The popular vote is what everyone, who everyone voted for, their vote gets totaled into who gets this much vote, who gets that much vote. No more of this. Well, this state voted this way, so that's 4 votes. California, it's 15 votes. No, I don't agree with that at all. So I am definitely one of those, and I think I've said that on my channel plenty of times, guys. The popular vote should count. I do not like the electoral college system because it really does take away from your voice. That's my belief. I really do believe it does that. The other thing is, trust in elections are really low, only among Republicans. The Democrat voters still say 58% of them still say they do think that the elections run fairly. Again, I got to hesitate, mainly because of the electoral college. And there's more here I'm going to bring up too on why come I hesitate. Um, the other thing that's on there too is how the maps are divided. Here in my state, I don't think my vote really does count because I live in a very, very rural community. The entire population of my county is probably close to maybe 10,000. And that's close to it. That's probably more towards anywhere between eight, I'd say 8 to 10. All right. But I look at that, and that's most of the state is all farming. So most of the counties around, maybe around 10. You might find some a little bit higher with 12. But then you're looking at the bigger areas like Chicago, Peoria, Juliet, where they're in millions. So their voice is going to matter more than my little voice will. So yeah, the voice and election don't count due to population. Again, that's why I really like the idea of the popular vote. Let's do that instead of the electoral college. That would make least a little bit. At least hey, okay, cool. I can see that one of those numbers up there. That's me. Okay, that'd be all right. But when you throw in just because this person voted this way, but the majority voted this way because they're all there. This is who's going to win this. That's wrong. You're just pooling a population. You're really not pooling the population. Um, and I was looking across. I was like, damn, that makes me think. I know what's going on here. Colorado's the same way. Believe it or not, it's a big Republican state when it comes to the individual voter. But the major population in the state, the bigger cities, or not even really just cities, the bigger ski towns, they have a lot of draw too. They have a higher population just little small towns scattered throughout, and those are Democrat. So you look at it, and this isn't the only example, guys. It really isn't. It's not just Illinois and Colorado. I went and I did my damnedest to see if there was somewhere there where the state's blue, but because of this population it's red. I didn't find one. I didn't search through all 50, but just over the 10 that I did, I gave up at 10 because I was like, damn, I'm not finding this at all right now. And I did get tired. It was late. But I was like, just over the 10 I did, I looked Wyoming. I didn't go towards the eastern side because I know that's primarily going to be blue. Anyway, I mean, especially Delaware, Maine. Maine's pretty much kind of a mix. So I stuck with like, okay, let's look at these swing states, Georgia and all them. Most of those they're still red, but the bigger population centers are blue. I'm like, okay, I'm finding this all across the 10 states I'm looking at, and I even tried to go find Republicans. I was seriously going for look at Democratic states, see if it's the flip. I did not find it. Mind blown. But the one of the best things I did though, so I'm going through my searches, right, trying to rephrase my words, see if I can find anything different. Wikipedia popped up. Um, red and blue states. You can look it up and just search up the Wikipedia. It's got the perfect map interpretation. It breaks it down from general elections. It breaks it down to your midterms, and it even breaks it down to how states, the Electoral College sees the U.S. in a whole. I mean, it's really, really, really good. So yeah, look at all that. The Pew Research Center as well will do the same thing for you guys if you're looking at how does my state vote. Even break it down to you and even to your county, which I really liked. That was cool. But going into what brought up why my video didn't get posted, so I said in my belief that the election was stolen. That all what I just expressed and what I said in all the research I did, that is why that's my belief because the system is flawed. I think you two probably looked at us like, okay, and yes, you all know too. I like Trump, but that's not why I was saying that. I was saying that because I myself see it, and it's not just over the 2020 election. I mean, heck, I can go all the way back to 2002. Look at Bush and Gore. I really thought Gore should have had that one, but hey, you win, you lose. It happens. But the thing is that when you hear the demographics, not the demographics, when you hear the Democrats and Republicans both speak, thank you, put it up there. I have watched multiple tidbits of interviews. Heck, I even watched them just when they're going out on the campaign trails, and both parties will say it. You got to be careful. We can't. This happened. This is a stolen election. This is not right. Both parties say it. It's not just one person. It's both parties. And I understand this is probably going to be like touchy. It's a bit touchy for me because I'm trying not to get a strike on the channel, but I'm also not going to just sit here and be quiet about it either. But um, go on to Fox and Fox News, by the way, and their videos even on YouTube, where it shows Hillary even saying that you can win the popular vote. This is her, tit for tat, quote unquote, word for word. You can win the popular vote and still have the election stolen from you. Her words. And there's been two other candidates come prior. One was here in Illinois during the midterms. Another one was a year ago, I think, he went down in Georgia, where you still got the party saying, "Hey, look, this isn't right. This election was stolen from you." Both parties say it. So when you got your leader saying it, don't get mad when the public starts saying it to you. Like, okay, maybe they got something right here. If they're bitching about it, maybe, just maybe there's something wrong. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't know. But for people to go out there, and it's not just YouTube. And again, I appreciate what they do. I mean, heck, out of all the videos, it's the one time they've complained. I'm honestly really surprised. I figured it'd be more than that. So I really do appreciate them going over stuff and trying to keep the misinformation out of there. Because let's face it, there's a lot of misinformation out there. But when you get the rhetoric of you can't say something because of its misinformation or it's misleading, I think you got to look at the context of what someone's saying, not just take the whole thing and go, hey, 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 hey. I mean, Facebook is notorious for doing that shit. That's like I'm really not even on Facebook anymore. I mean, I'm there, but I'm not. Like my kids post something or some of my friends share something with me, and that's about all it is. I don't even really post anything anymore. I might share something just because that was cool. Share that. Why not? But yeah, this rhetoric I think has gotten a little bit out of control. I can understand why, because don't get me wrong, I don't just like Trump. I listen to him, and there's a lot of stuff that he says. I'm going, dude, did you think about that before you said it? I'm pretty sure there's some right now in your cabinet going, hey, 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 don't say that. What the hell did you just say? That means no, you can't do that. Yeah, I'm not one of those like hardliner. I believe everything Trump says. Shit, no, no. I like his what he did for the country as far as the economy goes. I like what he did with the stance against against North Korea, China, the trade deals that he worked out. Stuff like that. I agree with what he did. The rest of that shit that he does, it's propaganda, honestly, guys. And anyone's going to do it. You're going to make yourself look better, right? Say something, just dump it up. Even if you're telling a story, 99% of it might be true, but you're going to make there's going to be at least one part of your story where I'm just going to add this to make that look better. Just want to look cooler or something. We all do it. It's called propaganda. It's there for a reason. Shouldn't be there, but it is. So yeah, that's all I got to say about the elections and how the process runs. It hasn't. This isn't new. This hasn't been something that just came out of the blue because of 2020. That's not no. This has been there for a while. I honestly never really have trusted my election system, and the big part of it is because we still have electoral college. I can go into a little bit because I do believe we still. Oh yeah, we got plenty of time here. Let me go into a little bit about why the electoral college was around. When we very first started voting for our president, we only had 13 states. That's it. So instead of going out and polling everybody, they did was they took the vast majority of the votes that were done and awarded a percentage from each state to the winner, just like they do now with they see it now. But that's what was brought up though was because the population was so small, and even when we got into 15, 16, 20 states, it still was not a big enough population because the population was spread out. So they had the electoral college. Most of our population is still spread out, but there's now enough of us spread out everywhere that we can get rid of electoral college. Instead of having around 20,000 people casting a vote in a state, you now have got multiple millions of people in a state casting a vote. So let's be frank about it. Let's get down to the electoral college. It's time to kiss it goodbye. It's no longer needed. Quite frankly, if we didn't have electoral college, there would have been no Trump. Hillary would have been elected president. sometimes you just thank God for small miracles. No, I'm kidding. I didn't like Hillary's attitude. That's all. Her attitude and her flamboyantness. I mean, really, she hit the ground running just as bad as Trump did when it came to name calling everything deplorables. Remember that one? Right off the bat, she attacked the voters, and I was like, Hillary, that's something you don't do. Something you don't do. You're gonna come after the voters. That's what hurt Bailey. He was running for governor here against Pritzker, and he should have said, "Look, Chicago's a cesspool, guys. It's a dirty fucking city." It's like, dude, okay, they do control the votes in the state. Really, you're gonna go and hit them like that? That's stupid. Don't do that. They're not gonna vote for you now. You just lost millions of fucking votes. Good job. Yeah, the dumbest thing a politician could do is go out there and attack their constituents and the people who are voting for them. The dumbest thing you can do. And even if they're not voting for them, the dumbest thing you can do is go and attack your voters. So yeah, Hillary lost all my respect when she started off the name calling. I know some of you probably going, well, Trump started off name calling. He didn't attack the voters. He can attack crooked Hillary all he wants to. I mean, hell, the proof's in the damn pudding. Emails deleted. Let's not forget the Benghazi incident. That's all there, black and white. You want to call it crooked Hillary? Well, proof's in the pudding. You can't really argue against the facts now, can you? Yeah, but for Hillary to come out and say what she just said about the anyone who votes for Trump, that's just attacking voters, and I disagree with that. Did not like it one bit. It also solidified my stance. So yeah, Republican, Democrat, Liberal, Independent, none of them are right. The only thing that gets my goat is the fact that they can just pass the laws. They can make amendments. We're going to pass this bill without putting it to a vote to the people. Since we want to get rid of electoral college, again, 63% favor this. It's over half the population. 63%. Well, then, let's also make it to where if Congress wants to do something, well, we got to say so on that too. Yeah, in my video that I didn't get shared with you guys, I'm going to go into a little bit of what I was talking about. And I'm really kind of thankful that it was just what they took as misinformation that got to be a block because I was just irate. Pritzker just being an idiot actually called him I called him Hitlerism is what he's been pulling. But they're favoring the LGBTQ community over non-LGBTQ. And do I have an issue with LGBTQ? Or I think back to the day I know it was just LGBT. But anyway, whatever. No, I don't. Do your thing. It's fine. But what I had was going off on the video was Pritzker said we're going to pass this law now that states bathrooms are unisex. By the way, a urinal in a bathroom might offend somebody, so we're going to take those out. And all stalls have to be completely enclosed, no gaps. One of our senators here in Illinois said, all you're going to do is create a lot of animosity. You're going to create a big problem. There's going to be violence because a dad who sees a man walking in on his daughter taking a leak is probably going to beat that dude up. And I was like, I totally agree with that because as I having a daughter myself, I don't care if she's over the age of 20 or not. I see some dude walking in, my girl's in there. But there'd be some shit going down real quick. But they amended the bill. Now, this was just came out today. They did amend it now to where you don't have to have it. It doesn't have to be a unisex bathroom. But if you are going to here's what you have to do, and this is how you have to build it. And they don't, and they're also no longer requiring places to change their current bathrooms. So they did do some amendments there. Apparently, they did listen to a bunch of us people that got a bit pissy about that. Again, totally not against the gay, lesbian, transgender, genderless. Like, I'm not against it. I mean, I'm not against you. You can do. You want to say you're non-gender, I guess. Okay, fine. Let's go ahead. You're not going to convince me you're non-gender. Just don't bring it up to my doorstep. Someone look at you and say, "Well, you got indoor and outdoor plumbing, and if you got tests there naturally, you got surgery done. Either way, you at some point in time are male or female. That's just the way it goes. That's the way you got graded you. So don't come at me with your non-gender. It's only a matter of time we say we're non-species. I'm no longer consider myself human. Actually, I don't. I'm zirconian, but that's besides the point, right? I'm just getting a jump ahead here. I'm going to get a 10-year head start. Yeah, guys. All right. Well, that's enough out of my mouth here, guys. Appreciate y'all. Um, and hopefully YouTube looks at this and does see I'm not spreading any false information or anything like that. Please post this video. Really do appreciate it. Respect that to our family that watches. Again, guys, Pew Research Center, guys, that is the big one. They've got everything listed there that you need to know. Not even just in elections either. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff you can look up there. I mean, this is what they do. They go out there and research stuff, and they poll, like I said, anywhere between 200 to 1,000 people. As far as I know, most polls are only done with just a few hundred. So to see Pew Research going out there and getting 1,000, that's really cool. I like it. And yeah, red and blue states on the Wikipedia. Check that out too, guys. All right, enough out of my mouth. We will catch you guys in the next one.